HomeLeagePod, part 2 of our week 14 episode. You can only see half of me right now. That's all right. It's going to be a little rough on the logistics here. Let's bring up that rundown. A little different this week. So, like I said last week, Jesse sent over predictions. We will go over those. He sent us round 1 and championship predictions. No round 2. Can't explain it, won't explain it. But we'll get into that, and then we will dive into some numbers before we kick off at the 1 p.m. time today. I will go over playoff scenarios, what it looks like for everybody who is still alive, some key games today in the real NFL, gone through calculating how many players are in each matchup, and then we will talk what is next for the pod, as there are only 3 more weeks remaining, this one being the 4th. Let's get into it. All right, so I am just going to do a dramatic reading of exactly what Jesse sent me. He did send me this before the Thursday night game, so some of this we already know is factually inaccurate, but that's okay. All right, so I'm literally going to read this. The first matchup I'm going with is Rillo versus I, fighting to see who will finish 10th or 11th place. Could be the matchup of the week, even though it means nothing to the league. The winner of this matchup will be me. I think that St. Brown being a game-time decision on a short week means that Jameson Williams will get a majority of the targets. He is going to be the boom of the matchup. Bust of the matchup is Caleb Williams. Divisional matchup against Green Bay at Green Bay. Bears are hot, though. Could see them winning this one. One player that will score in this matchup will be R.J. Harvey. Oh. Thought he was talking about the game. I was like, he doesn't play there. R.J. Harvey. The Bears are hot, but the Broncos are on a 9-game winning streak. They are on fire. All right, so looking quickly over, he's got. I didn't put these in the right order. I don't care. Caleb Williams is the bust. Jameson Williams is the boom. He did okay. And then R.J. Harvey with a touchdown if you want to get in on that. All right, next matchup. He's got Bill versus Evan. Evan and I have been in the basement all season long. Lots of injuries this year, which is very unfortunate. Bill needs to win this week. I believe he does. Drake May, MVP Drake May, is on a bye this week, which means Owen, excuse Cookie, not Bucky, will win this one. A boom in this matchup is Ladd. Good old Ladd will connect with Herbert because the Eagles' defense is not as good as we think it is. Bust of the matchup is someone I drafted, Jaden Higgins. I really should have had T. Higgins in the 10th round. The board doesn't lie. Chiefs in the kingdom will stomp on the Texans. Ken Walker is due to score this week. He hasn't scored in the past 2 games, so the Seahawks will score on the ground this week. And again, we've got what matchup is that? I don't know. Oh yeah, Bills. So he's got Ken Walker finding the touchdown. He's got a Jaden Higgins bust, and then Ladd McConkey. Boom. All right. Glenn versus Duffy. Glenn's team is just too good. Everyone knows it. Just look at it. White Man's Burden will triumph this week and secure his spot finishing in the first place for the regular season. Lots of booms in this matchup, and most of them are in Glenn's team. I'll throw a dart and say James Cook. Bills are on the rise, and Bengals defense is terrible. A.J. Brown has had back-to-back 100-yard games and scored in both games. His fun is over, and he'll be back to reading books on the bench this week. He is my bust. CD will score again, and watch out for the Cowboys as they try to make a playoff push. Short of a concussion, he probably would have scored. But yeah, unfortunately it didn't happen. All right, so again, he's got Glenn taking the dub. He's got CD scoring a touchdown, but he's got James Cook boom and an A.J. Brown bust. All right, moving on. He's got Jack versus Ned, 2 8-5 teams. So what do I just do? 2 8-5 teams. After this matchup, one team will finish in the season in 3rd and the other in 6th. That is very likely. Congrats on making it to the playoffs, losers. Jack's team is really good. It's crazy how Barkley is the worst player on his team. Jack's going to win. Kelsey gets the boom in this matchup. Not even projected 6 points, but he will double that in this non-PPR league. Going back to the tight end position, McBride is my bust. He will have an off week and finish with single-digit points. Puka Nacua will score, and he might even score twice this week. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. All right, so yeah, he's got Puka getting in the end zone, and then he's got Trey McBride. I do have that right. Trey McBride is the bust. Kelsey has the boom. Tyler versus Berg, another 2 8-5 teams. Yay, congratulations. Berger with the pickup of the week, locking up his backups by scoring Perrine. Unfortunately, that won't help you this week, and Ty's team will sweep Ryan's off their feet. JSN is having the best season by far of any other receiver. He had an off week last week, going 2 catches for 4 yards. Oh, 2 catches on 4 targets for 23 yards. He's the boom this week. He will be back. Baker bust Mayfield is going to struggle against the Saints. He will probably put up the same numbers he did last time he played in New Orleans. 152 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. Bijan will get the goal line carry this week and score. Algier will score 2, but so will Robinson. All right, so he's got, looks like Ty taking the W. No, where is he? I can't find anything. I'm blind. Oh, yeah, so he's got Bijan scoring, JSM with the boom, but Baker with the critical bust. All right. Steve versus the commish. Oh, baby. This is a good one. Whoever wins will be in the playoffs. Bill's team is going to win, so if you put that into factor, this matchup is huge. Win and you're in, lose and welcome to the basement stairs. Projection-wise, I'm going with the upset. Steve will win while JT runs away with his team to the playoffs. Without St. Brown, boom will be Montgomery, not Gibbs. Gibbs will take the back seat this matchup while Monty takes the bulk of the offensive snaps. I don't believe Devontae Adams can keep his hot streak alive. He is the bust of this matchup. JT will not only bring Steve's team to the playoffs, but he will score in this week's matchup. So, didn't quite happen. Montgomery did fine, but Gibbs did really, really well. Jimmy and Steve obviously had a lot of players on that Thursday night matchup. Couldn't get it done before the game. That's my bad. But he's got Steve with the upset, and now it will truly be an upset. All right, and then on to Jesse's predictions. So based on that, he's got Steve making the playoffs, Bill making the playoffs. He's got myself finishing 3rd. He's got Ned finishing 6th. So overall, he has Glenn with the bye. His prediction is Bill versus Ty. Ty in the 2, Bill in the 7. He thinks Bill will win. He's got Jack, me, in the 3rd. Dan in the 6th. He says that it's a revenge game, but I win again. That'd be the 3rd time. And then he's got Steve versus Ryan, and he thinks Steve will win. The next line is champion of the season will be Glenn. So he didn't want to predict the round 2. I don't know why. Maybe the seating reshuffles. I don't quite get it. But that's what Jesse's got. These are his predictions. Get those touchdown anytime bets in if you want. No need to parlay. Kind of missed one already. But yeah, that's what Jesse's got. Thank you, Jesse, for sending those over. All right, now let's move into something else. I don't have many more cutaways. Where are we at? Okay. This works. So, I think this is fun to look at. I was looking at this. You can see Glenn is, overwhelmingly likely he would need pretty much a big upset from Ty. He'd have to lose, and Ty would have to win pretty big actually, I don't know if Ty would have to win big, but Ty would have to win and Glenn would have to lose. And this doesn't think that's likely. So from there, again, Ty can pretty much go anywhere from, first, but really second or fourth. Myself facing Dan, and then Dan obviously facing me. We can each get up to 9, so we both occupy a good chunk of that 3rd place, but we can't finish 4th and 5th based on points, based on wins, so we drop all the way down to 6th based on how Tyler and Ryan's matchup comes out, as well as I think that's the only one that matters. So that's what we're looking at. And then Bill 85% chance to get that 7th spot, and then Steve and Jimmy only with slightly under 60% odds. This does not have information from the Thursday night game, so it's giving Jimmy with a slight edge to make it over Steve. So yeah, this is what it can shake out to be. I'm not going to bring up a overlay here, but just looking at the games, we had 10 players from the Detroit and Dallas game go. Most of those were in Jimmy and Steve's matchup. Looking at the 1 o'clock, we've got 3 players in the Dolphins and Jets, 1 player in the Titans and Browns, 5 players in Pittsburgh and Baltimore. These are just all matchups. I didn't segment out playoff matchups or playoff relevant matchups. Colts Jags has 8. That's a big one to watch. Falcons, Seahawks, and Commanders versus Vikings, along with the Saints and Bucks, each have 7. So 21 players in those 3 games alone. So the big ones to watch, again, Colts, Jags, surprisingly big to watch. And then Commanders, Vikings is going to be big to watch. For the 4 o'clock slate, pretty even across all those. We've got Cardinals and Rams with 7 players. Bears, Packers with 7, Raiders and Broncos with 6. I do know that the Raiders and Broncos players are mostly confined to Jesse and Nick's matchup, so it doesn't really matter. But the Rams, Cardinals, and then the Bears, Packers. Bears, Packers has a ton of implications. And then Monday Night Football, big for Ryan. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I skipped. Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football is the second most populated matchup with 9 players. We've got Hunt, Kelsey, Rice, Mahomes, Worthy, Collins, Marks, Higgins, and Schultz. So that will be a big one. And then Monday night we'll probably decide Ned and Nye's matchup, unless it's a blowout before that. And then Ryan has a bunch of players playing on that one. So Ty and Ryan's matchup will come down to Monday Night Football as well. All right, what else did I want to talk about? What did the rundown say? Okay, we talked about key games already. So what's up next for the pod? I think it makes sense next week to get Glenn back on, as he will probably have the bye. If Ty gets the bye, he can come on. I don't think anyone else can get the bye unless I score a ridiculous amount of points and win. Maybe Ryan can. I think Ryan's probably got the third best odds. So, Ryan, if you get the bye, you're on. After that, I'd like to get all the eliminated playoff teams onto a pod for one. And then I think championship, we should live stream the electric chair of the championships. Unless it's Ryan or Jimmy and they're far away, in which case maybe we can just live stream them. But we'll figure something out, so that's what we're thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not going to say good luck today. Good luck to me and me only. And that's it. See you later. Bye. Can I get the music to play? Yeah, let's get that music up.